everyone, welcome back. Now it's time for Building Beginner Tips Part 2. Today I'm going to be talking about walls. There are so many ways to do walls, and one of the most important ways is to texture them. No matter what block you're using, there's a block out there that would look great to texture with, that would just make it look a bit more detailed and better looking. There are so many ways you can do with borders as well, like indented and flush. Also, gradients are super important whenever you're building, like from stone to deep slate, light to dark, dark blue to light blue, and stone to white. These are very important things whenever you're building, and they add so much detail to your build. Here is our house right now that we've started building in the last episode, but we're going to change it to make it look a little nicer. I'm going to start with stone bricks and just place a few random pieces here and there. Same with andesite. And then look how much that changed that part of the build. It looks so much better now. Now let's do it for the rest of the build. We'll just place some random andesite and stone bricks. And now here's what it looks like when it's done. It looks so much better than it did before. But we haven't done the top floors yet, which are made of wood. So let's work on these. I'm using stripped oak wood, which adds a lot of texture and makes it look a whole lot better than just a lot of planks. See how good that looks? It looks so much better than when we started. And there are many ways you can do a build, and one thing that changes it a lot is color. But I don't want this to be oak anymore. I'm going to make it jungle to add a different color to the build. Now let's texture it with jungle logs. And here we go. Now this part is all done. But by changing color, you can completely change a build. So here is another house we made last time. But what would happen if we changed all the colors to something completely new? See how much of a difference that made? It looks like a whole different build. It looks like a whole different style as well. But it's also untextured. Let's see how well it looks whenever we use granite with the bricks. Let's use some polished granite and then also some classic granite as well. Like this. That brick part looks a whole lot better. Now let's do calcite. Let's use white wool and then white concrete powder. Oops. And just like this, it looks a whole lot better textured. But we have missed one spot. It's made of birch. So let's texture this part. I'm going to grab birch logs and do just like we did with the other part. We're going to use logs to decorate just like this. But another important thing in builds is gradients, which can actually add a whole lot of detail into your build. So I'm going to show you how you can use a gradient in your build. See, here's our original build. And now let's go here. And we can use deep slate, tuff, and basalt, and all sorts of other blocks to texture all the way up to the cobblestone. And there's many ways you can change it. And change it to however best it suits you. because it can take a while, but it looks super great when you're finished. See how amazing that looks? It adds a lot of detail over to that side, but also doesn't completely steal the show. Now, on this one, we can also put a gradient. As you can see, there's a pop out on that side there. Well, we can use a wood gradient from spruce to birch. You've got to figure out which one is lighter and darker. See, you can see the plank is darker than the log, so you use the plank against the spruce logs. So that way you know which is lighter and it helps it blend more. See? Now, here's the finished gradient. It looks so much better than it did before. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you find ways to use these in your build, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye!